An introduction to user behavior data. Screen recording, mouse tracking, and heat maps provide insights on how visitors are using your site. These tools allow you to identify trends, collect user behavior data, and diagnose areas to improve on your website. This is accomplished by recording mouse activity, then quantifying the data collected. By using screen recordings and heat map software, you can observe common sticking points, distracting elements, common patterns, misclicks, and unexpected behavior hindering your customer's ability to convert. In this video, we will take a quick look at the various data and insights provided by this type of software. We will be using Mouseflow, but the information provided will be applicable across numerous applications like Hotjar or ClickTail. A heat map is a graphical representation of mouse activity overlaid on the pages of your website. The user engagement is expressed in a range of colors. Red corresponds to significant activity, and blue equals little or no activity. Mouse tracking heat maps are used to visualize visitors' activity on the page. Heat maps monitor screen elements users are clicking on, what they pay attention to, and how far down the page they're scrolling. Look at a few different types of heat maps today, including click, scroll, movement, interaction, and geography. Click maps identify elements users are clicking on while visiting a particular page. These maps verify that users are engaging in the key elements of the website. They can also identify buttons which users fail to interact with and are valuable in identifying misclicks. So looking at a click map for our website, here you can see a screen overlay representing where users are clicking. The chart in the lower left shows a range of intensities, with red and white representing areas that are most clicked, and blue and black showing areas that receive little or no interaction. On the click map for Mainstreethost.com's homepage, we can see that these bright colors in the navigation and around this CTA show significant interaction, which is exactly what we'd hope for. But it also shows some misclicks, like here, where the user may be expecting this non-clickable element to be clickable. Perhaps users would like additional information about this topic, or the element should be made clickable in the future. We can also see that this link in the body text is receiving minimal clicks. This may be an indication that the link is inefficient or distracting element that doesn't help us achieve our goal. We should consider testing the removal of the text link and see if it's helpful for conversions. In the upper right, we can control the device that we're viewing the heat map from. We have desktop, tablet, and phone options. We can switch to the phone overlay and discover how mobile visitors are interacting with our site and how it differs from a traditional desktop visit. Scroll maps show us which parts of the page are visible and what % of users are scrolling down the page. They can help us identify if key content, like a CTA or Add to Cart button, is too far down the page, and therefore invisible to the majority of users due to lack of scrolling. Again, just like in the click map, displayed in the lower left are the maximums and minimum colors indicating visibility of the page. Taking a look at our services page, the top of the page is red and receives 100% visibility, meaning all users are seeing this portion of the page. As we scroll down the page, we can see the color of the overlay changes, indicating that users are falling off and no longer scrolling. We can see here there's a sharp fall off of users. This is commonly identified as a visual breakpoint and occurs when the user assumes there's no valuable content below and elects not to scroll any further down. Identify excessive fall off and consider creating more engaging eye paths and visual cues to keep the user engaged. The fold line depicted here is the average portion of your site that users can see when first arriving on the page prior to scrolling. Statistically, the majority of interactions will take place in the content that is above the fold. Movement maps show where users move their mouse. Much like with clicks, we're looking for mouse movement to be centralized around our most important elements, like navigation or a CTA, as they'll receive the highest amount of interaction. As you can see, when we scroll down the page, the user's mouse movement dissipates, meaning less interaction is occurring the further down we travel. Movement maps can help address questions like, where is the most effective location for ads on the page? Are visitors ignoring or glossing over certain sections? And is the arrangement of the sections on the page correct? If your CTAs and important buttons are falling outside of a visitor's movement path, you may consider pushing those elements toward the user's path and see how it impacts your conversions. An attention map is a time-based heat map that displays how engaged users are with particular sections of your website. The attention map uses scrolling activity to do this, factoring in different screen sizes and resolutions. This allows you to determine which part of the page has been viewed the most and can be an effective tool when evaluating design elements. Areas in red are receiving the most attention from users, while areas in blue and black are receiving little interaction. Be sure to adjust the priority of your page sections so that the highest number of visitors are seeing elements that are collecting the most attention. The geography map is an interactive way to determine where your users are visiting based on their IP address. As you zoom into the map, you can see a detailed view of landmarks that surround your website's users. As you can see, Mainstreethost.com is receiving a significant amount of users in Buffalo, New York. At the top of the page, you can apply a filter based on device, number of page views, traffic source, or even isolate users that complete a desired goal. This can be a beneficial tool to help target your ads or content to where your most profitable customers are located. User recordings allow you to watch real users' activity as they navigate through your site. You can observe how they behave, problems they encounter, and what paths they take to reach your goals when navigating your website. Screen recordings can be incredibly useful for observing how users complete forms on your site. The level of insight far surpasses what event tracking alone can do in Google Analytics. Let's watch as a user travels through our site. The timeline at the top of the site indicates actions that have occurred during the session. Red means mouse movement or scrolling. Yellow indicates a click or tap. Green represents form interaction. And black is a period of inactivity. You can also adjust the playback speed here. The multitude of visitor recordings can become daunting. Filters are an effective way to segment your visitors by action. For example, apply a filter that only includes users who made it to your checkout page or completed a form. Compare the data from those who completed a transaction to those who failed to convert to identify areas that caused them to bounce from the page. Use this information to refine your design choices, improve user experience, and boost your conversion rate. User behavior tools combined with analytics data and analysis can assist your site's performance by identifying malfunctions and reducing sticking points. Behavioral tools like Mouseflow can also provide data to craft experiments on your site's design elements, improve your overall user experience, and enhance your conversion rate.